together and talk a little bit about Clemson athletics and where we are at these certain points in the year. This particular time I want to talk a little bit about, as what you see on some of the easels around here, our facility up. Stadium. We have the Bridge Oculus project, which is ongoing. It will be ready this summer, and basically that project, as we talked about before, is going to help ease some of the congestion that had occurred here on the west side of the stadium. Allow people to traverse easily between the south stands and the north stands. The other big project that's going on right now here in the stadium is the South Club project. 600 new club seats, and we'll have a chance to go and look at that in a little while. 600 club seats, refurbished suites on President's area, along with a new media area on the south end of the stadium. That project's going well. I think it's created some real opportunity for us. We've sold to date about 535 of the 600 club seats. So that's been really, really positive for us as we move ahead, since filling those club seats is a real revenue driver to help with all the projects that we're doing. On the north end of the stadium, we've moved our IPTE box from the first level to the second level, created a large gathering spot for IPTE in their role as our fundraising organization. We are redoing some of the suites, in fact all of the suites on the north end, changing up the look coming off the elevator, enclosing the area, making it climate controlled, so we think that our suite patrons on the north side of the stadium will enjoy a really great environment. As we started to do last year but weren't able to complete all of them, each of the suites on both the south end and the north end, and these are the suites, will have operable windows. So the folks inside that box can open the windows, get a feel for the game, or if the weather is inclement, they can keep those windows closed. They'll have the purview of being able to do that. So that's what's going on here inside the stadium. Over at Doug Kingsmore, I'm sure everyone has seen the work that's being done down the right field line. That project was a little bit delayed moving forward, but we look to have that project done sometime later this spring. It will be an office area, a player development area, locker room, all spaces that will help move our baseball program forward, and something that has been in the pipeline for a while. Come May 11th to be exact, we will begin the large project, rebuild of Littlejohn Coliseum. So that project has recently gone through all the requisite state and Board of Trustee approvals. So we will be moving forward with that. Along some of the easels here that you see up here are some of the renderings for that project. As you know, we'll play basketball with the men next year in Greenville at the Bon Secours Wellness Center, and our women will play here at Jervey. We have moved a wood floor into Jervey, and our volleyball program and women's basketball program will play there, and they'll play on wood. Previously there had been some type of a tartan surface there, but we've moved in a wood floor. So the Littlejohn project, moving on, has received all of the requisite board and state approvals. Next up on the agenda is the beginning of the approval process for our football operations facility. That first step in that project occurs later on this week with the Commission on Higher Education, followed up later on this month with the Joint Bond Review Committee and the Budget Control Board to give their first approvals. We will then be looking at potential architects and contractors for that particular project. It's an important one for us, exciting one for us. So we'll look to get that moving throughout the summer, and hopefully go back to our board and maybe even these other approval boards late in this calendar year, and start this project as soon as we can in 2016. Other projects that we had talked about a while back, Vickery Hall update. We've gone through a feasibility study there. We're getting ready to move that through the state process, as well as we're undergoing right now a feasibility study on our tennis program and the tennis building area, the indoor facility to be specific. So those projects are things that we're looking at, as well as some smaller projects for this summer. We will replace the playing surface at Riggs Field to the same type of surface that we put out over at Doug Kingsmore a couple of years ago. Riggs Field right now is on native soil. It doesn't really have a great drainage capability, so we'll re-fence, put a new sand-based field in over at Riggs Field, and make that field as good as it can be for our men's and women's soccer programs. Also over at Jervey, we're looking to do a new entrance area, specifically because we'll be playing basketball there and want people to be able to get into the facility a little bit differently than what they've done for volleyball. So those are some of the projects that we have going on right now. I think I've hit all of them. Talked a little bit about the financial update. 535 of the club seats out of the 600 have been sold. 80 of the 89 suites have been leased. Bigger than 9, so we feel really comfortable about that. One of the big things that has been in the world of athletics over the last few months has been the cost of attendance. We are moving forward with that here on our campus. Whenever we do our total as to what that number is going to cost Clemson University, Clemson Athletics, that's about $925,000 is the number that we're pegging given the student-athlete enrollment that we have. So we're making plans for that. We're going through our budgetary process right now, and that will be something that will begin in August of 2016. A couple of shout-outs for our women's track team, ACC indoor champions. Natoya Goulet, national champion in the 800. So that's been a real positive this spring, followed up by the ACC championship that our men's soccer program won in the fall. With that, I would be, you guys know how this is. This is a little laid back. I want you to ask some questions. I don't want to just...
Dan, how excited should the fans be coming this year, and the differences they'll see this year as opposed to what they saw the last year here at this stadium?
Well, I think it'll be from the standpoint of, depending upon how you get into the stadium, the Oculus and the bridge is going to affect probably the largest number of people, because now they'll be able to be inside the stadium and walk and traverse back and forth between the south and the north end. Previously, that wasn't the case. So that we think that's going to be a really good thing. It also give a great vista for views of the lake and the mountain. Our premium patrons, they're going to see a big difference, and they're going to be the ones in the club seat areas or the redone suites, and we hope that they see a much better game day experience than what they had in the past.
Dan, on the coaching front, you said multiple times last spring you wanted to see improvement out of the baseball program. Where are you right now with Coach Leggett?
Well, this obviously has not been the start to the season maybe that everybody wanted. But I mean, we've all been around baseball enough to know that there are times when you start the year hot and you finish 500. There are times you start the year 500 and you finish hot. So, at this point in time, we're just, where we are is we're in the middle of baseball season. And we're going to see where we end up. Good group of kids, fight hard, play hard, and enjoy watching the baseball games, and we'll just see how the rest of the season plays out.
With most of the changes already instituted that you went over last summer, how effective would you say they've been?
Well, again, I think that it's all a work in progress.
Do you consider those evaluations at the end of the year? Do you play some of the things come into play, like the clubhouse, for instance? They didn't get that.